Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of The Auntie Lynette Show, where we showcase some of Toronto's hottest musical and visual artists. Today's episode is brought to you by a WWB production and can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Spreaker.com. I am your host, LWB, and today it gives me wonderful pleasure to introduce you all to Laneigh Ramirez. Laneigh is a Black gender-fluid artist based in Toronto with a current focus on oil painting and airbrushing. Her art is a breakthrough from her childhood in Sarnia, Ontario, a place far removed from Black culture. Her recent work gives credit to impactful relationships, spiritual experiences, and authentic Black expression as they guide her through healing memories of alienation. Generally, she aims to pay homage to people and ideas that deserve to be seen, including herself. Well, welcome, Laneigh, to the show. How are you today? Thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. I woke up in a great mood, ready for this interview.
Hey, that's great. Well, we have fun at the Auntie Lynette Show. Don't look at it as an interview. Look at it as a time to share your passion, who you are, your love, your gifts, and your blessings, okay? So we want you to sit back and have a great time. The first question I have for you to dive right in is, should Black art still be referred to as Black art? Because I love your work. That's obvious. This is why you're here today. We want people to know what you're about. But does it receive the respect it deserves, in your opinion?
As with the term Black art?
Yes.
Yes, I think it should be referred to as Black art because everything that we do, it comes from a place of identity. Whether or not it's on purpose, I feel that it's a reflection of who we are, how we're treated in society, and how we see ourselves. So I do understand when people don't really want to always put a label of Blackness on it, because we should be able to exist as people and just as people, not quite as societal products. Mm-hmm. But it will inspire other Black people as well. When, there are people out there who want to find art that kind of speaks to them or that can inspire them in life, they will look up Black art. And it's something that unites Black people. So
that's right.
Whether or not it's intentional, it is Black art.
That's right. So you're owning the reference. That's wonderful. And how would you describe your particular work? Is it visionary, poetic? Is there jazz or blues sense when you sit down? Like, where does the influence come from to illustrate that Black experience, particularly for you because you're a Canadian Black artist, in relation to your community and the work you do? Like, how would you describe it all encompassing with your Black experience in Canada?
I would say it's like a celebration of the positive aspects of Blackness and the healing aspects of Black community, especially growing up in a city like Sarnia, which, there wasn't a lot of Black people or culture. I was always seeking it when I was more aware of how different I was. Yeah.
How beautiful you are.
Exactly.
There you go.
And I didn't really feel that. Not that I didn't feel beautiful, but I didn't really feel accepted.
I understand.
So I would use media that I would see online of beautiful Black women that were inspiring. I would let them be exciting to me. That was my created environment. And then I would portray that within my art by doing portraits of people like Solange, for example, or just random girls that I saw on Instagram. So yeah, I would say it's a celebration of that. And then more recently, I feel like my art is reflecting my environment because now I'm in Toronto, which has a lot more Black presence. And I feel like I've been able to heal more because I've had Black friends who, look like me or have similar interests, and I can just feel more comfortable around. So yeah, so I feel like it's a celebration of being accepted somewhere and of liking the way that you look, feeling proud of your interest as a Black person. And it's very vibrant. I love colors. It shows in my clothing as well. I love to shine. So my paintings always have lots of highlights and lots of contrast within the color, because I like that, your eye is attracted to it. So yeah.
Yes, and folks who can't see right now because they're listening, but Laneigh has two beautiful lemon eardrop earrings on at the moment, and they're just stunning. And so you are absolutely right about what you're putting out into the world. It's definitely resonating and making people feel great. So now that you're in Toronto and not in a suburb, and you're seeing more people of color, what's the energy shift been for you? Because I think you've spoken to the process of the work, but what has infused in you as the artist that's different from when you were in Sarnia?
I guess, the energy shift. I feel more comfortable and I'm able to breathe. I feel like I can just live.
Can we just say that again? You are able to breathe. That is huge.
Just able to.
That brings tears to my eyes. It really does.
Able to get up in the morning and walk out and not think about the things that I had to think about back home, and feel ready to make conversations, to meet people and that kind of thing. My heart has been opened up, I would say. But also, I would say that it's caused me to have a lot more accountability in my projections, because when you grow up somewhere where you have to protect yourself a lot, you do kind of become closed off to certain things and to certain people, certain mindsets. So I feel like I've had to do a lot of work to release that. And that has also made me a more confident person and more self-validating.
Like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Because even coming here, there's attitudes I had back in Sarnia that they just don't work here, and they can be damaging. So I've had to, realize that I'm not in the same environment and I'm safe. And in places where I don't feel safe, I have to make myself feel safe. It's my responsibility. I've been a lot stronger in myself, and actually that's made me feel, I guess, looser in my art. I feel like I can create what I want now. And it's not so much about how it appears to others. It's as long as I feel good about it, that's really all that matters. And that's how it is in life in general as well.
Beautiful. So trust and validation, but from within. That's powerful, because that, I think, is a very significant message that a person on their own individual path discover.
Yes.
And so the city did that for you. That's great. I love your work, and I understand that Issa Rae also loves your work.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Well, so I made a painting of Issa Rae.
Yes.
And I actually, it was shown in Future Fairs in New York, and her agent has purchased it.
Oh my goodness. Folks, have you heard the glory right up in here? That is fantastic.
Yes, I really
just the serendipity of that moment of having her agent see your work.
Yes.
Which was highlighting her.
Yes, it's crazy. And it's crazy because it's not just a portrait. It's part of this ongoing series I kind of have going. It's still early on, but essentially it's called Black Girl Spotted, and it's about when you see a Black girl in public and they kind of do something to your spirit. They give you this validation. And I remember growing up in Sarnia, when I would go on trips for basketball tournaments or just come to Toronto for to see my sisters or something, I would see all the Black women and just remember all these faces. Even in Sarnia, if I saw a Black girl in the sidewalk or something, it would do something for my spirit. So that's kind of what the series is about. And then the one about Issa Rae, it's her on a magazine. And essentially, so it's called Mom Look. Okay. And it's when you're in the store as a child and you see a magazine that has a Black woman on it. And there's something just so amazing about that. And Issa Rae has this vibrant personality and vibrant smile, and also an authentic personality that's not performative. It's very much herself. I feel a lot of Black women have needed somebody like her to look up to, because we're not all flashy and she really stands for the awkward Black girl. I think a lot of us really needed that. And, she really speaks to my inner child. And that painting was about that. And to have her recognize that, in a moment where I'm recognizing her and her impact is really, really cool. So, I'm really, really proud of that.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That is so exciting.
I hope I can talk to her and we can have a conversation.
You will. We have said it here first.
Yes.
We have put it into the universe. She will know you. It will not be a question. God bless. That is just so fulfilling to hear you say out loud, and it gives me chills. And again, validating, right? It's validating. You were, discussing your journey here, and to have that, reflected in your work, and then to have it be applauded in the way that it has is just wonderful, and you deserve that. No, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. It's interesting because I wonder in your journey if you had a piece that you were drawn to yourself. And again, the last bit that we just shared, it really speaks to that energy I was speaking about earlier, right? Like the energy you put out had come back to you, and it was all like circular and flowing. And I think that you're on the receiving end of that, which is really nice that you can recognize that. But so do you have a piece so far that you think symbolizes or exemplifies everything that you just shared about this transition that you've been on? I really feel that from you. Like you say, now you're going into environmental pieces and you've shifted and moved to a different city. I mean, all of this is really coming forth in your work. So I wonder if you're drawn to one in particular.
Yes, actually, it's one of my earlier paintings. It's called Summer Rebirth. I made it in 2020, I believe. Yes, 2020. And it was actually the first painting where I felt like, okay, I can do this. Like, I can be an artist. And the picture that I use as a reference, I took in Toronto when I was on like a little trip to see my sister. And every time I would go to Toronto, I would come back feeling like even better about myself.
Yay.
And even stronger. And actually, I feel like my trips there like are the reason I was able to survive high school. Yeah. And in the painting, like I have these hoop earrings, and those were kind of like my survival mechanism. Like, it's actually crazy. They actually got me through so much because I don't know. I really liked, first of all, they were huge, and they're like, it's like a sign of like, I'm a black girl thing.
They were making a statement. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And I wore them everywhere with all my looks. Everybody knew those were my thing.
That's right.
And they just gave me like this confidence to keep going. And I feel like I actually upgraded to even better ones at some point, but I feel like I've been able to slowly detach myself from them because I don't need the accessory to feel good about myself.
I love that.
And now I'm kind of like finding different things within my style that are helping me to feel confident, and that it also kind of represents like the city, like the energy that it would give me. And I feel like because I've been here for a while, it's just in me now. Like, I just feel good. Like, I feel ready for anything. And every now and then I collect another item that kind of gives me that confidence. Like this hat, for example.
Sure.
Like, I actually just bought it last week.
The leather cap, black top hat. Doing fine. It's doing fine. It looks great.
Thank you. And I've been wearing it like every day for the past week because it's just like, it's my new thing.
It's comfortable, yeah.
And I just feel like very ready in life. And that painting, like every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, I made that at that age. And like, it's beautiful. It's like very striking. But I think that energy is like something I've been trying to embody like permanently, and I feel like I'm in it now.
That's right. That's right. It's so funny when we're talking about the earrings, in New York we call those around the way girl earrings. And I like that you're saying that you're willing to shed that, because with those symbolic images that we associate with certain groups comes stereotypes and comes baggage that we don't necessarily love. And so I really applaud you when you say that Issa represented something that you saw in her that reflected yourself, because for me, and as you spoke so eloquently to say you think that many Black women needed that, for me, it's when she said in public at an award show that she was rooting for everybody Black. Because you know what? No one had said that before. Yeah. And she was the first. And to say it, as you just said earlier, without any fluff and any apology, was beautiful. And I love everything you're saying today because it's speaking to that freedom, that sense of, I'm here, I accept myself. And so whether you do or not doesn't really matter, but I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. So good for you. So what would you say to young Laneigh?
I would say focus on your craft, because it's the one thing that will definitely save you. Do not worry about your environment, because these people, they live in a place that's comfortable to them. So it's easy for them to be, negative or to be racist. They don't have to face consequences for it. So
tell it.
They don't care if it hurts you. You should not care if you're doing what's best for you, focusing on your work, doing what makes you feel better, and surrounding yourself with people and culture that is healthy for you. And eventually you will get out of there, and just believe in yourself. Yeah, create your own world from within.
Beautiful.
And you can do anything.
I wish my daughter was here to hear you say that, because, every young Black girl needs to be reminded of that very thing you just shared. So thank you for that. So why do you think the economy